Hi guys, I'm Nick.
I'm Joel, this is Rex, and together we're Bare Overland. In this episode, you're going to be seeing us drive through the heart of New Brunswick on our way to the Yukon. Along the way, we've got some amazing 4x4 experiences to show you guys, as well as we've learned how to bake cookies on an open fire, which was interesting. We got ourselves mixed up in a whole load of floods, which was a little bit unexpected. And we met some really cool people along the way.
So, our second video, sorry it's taken us so long to get it out. We're still very much getting used to filming our everyday lives, and we still don't have a fully functioning microphone, so please bear with us. We started our New Brunswick journey in the south in a beautiful national park called Fundy. Now unfortunately we didn't take a lot of footage, largely because it was very much still under snow, and although snow's beautiful, it's kind of the same the whole way, so there's actually not that much to report on. Oh my god.
Fundy is on the south coast, and what we're trying to do is get up to the northwestern corner of New Brunswick to then get into Quebec. Along the way, we've got Fredericton. Now we heard on the radio Fredericton was under floods, so we was asking a few locals, and many of them were saying by the time we get there it's probably going to subside. So we thought we'd jump in the car, start heading that way, and tour some amazing off-grid along the way. So here's another testament about how nice Maritimers are. We are just sitting in a car park, someone comes over just for a bit of a chat. A lot of people do when they see this vehicle. And she comes back 20 minutes later and insists on giving us 20 bucks towards the trip.
It's just amazing that everyone has been so friendly. But yeah, she was not taking no for an answer, was she?
No, she says we have to go get coffees with it.
Bless her.
Maybe we shouldn't have told her that we've been living off-grid for so long, because I think she felt sorry for us.
Yeah. But yeah, Canadian people are amazing. They have been so nice, haven't they?
We could get a little business going on.
We can do that.
Should we just hang around this car park telling everyone our sob story? 20 bucks a story.
Homeboys right here. We should totally do that.
While Nix is getting us some coffees with our newfound 20 bucks, I'm going to update you guys on what we're up to. So we're in a town called Sussex right now in New Brunswick, the southern part of New Brunswick. We've just come here to get some supplies, load up on some water as well as some food, and we're about to head off. We were going to stay in the car park overnight, but it's not really looking right for us. It's really windy, there's nowhere out of the way, so we're just going to move on. We're heading northwest towards Fredericton, which is a bit of a gamble, because Fredericton is under massive floods right now and the Trans-Canada Highway is closed. But we're hoping if we can camp somewhere off-grid overnight, we can, the floods will actually subside and we'll be alright.
So unfortunately, when we got to the highway, we quickly realised that it was closed. And upon going around Fredericton, we realised quite soonish as well that the flooding was actually really bad. It's just got a whole lot worse. Look at this. That's got to suck if your house is on that hill.
It's just taken out an entire field. Wow. Hopefully this park that we're heading to isn't underwater. I think that was a road.
It's insane, isn't it? Absolutely insane.
We're going to try and find somewhere out of the way to park up for the night.
There were houses that were within the middle of the lake, and a lot of people have been evacuated. The Red Cross were in the area. It was pretty severe.
So, on to plan B. We start chatting with some locals about some back roads that we can possibly take to skirt around the floods. Now, every single one we took, you'd get 10k along these dust tracks, and then suddenly you'd hit a massive flood. We ended up finding quite a lot of other people trying to get from one side of the province to the other as well, trying to take these routes, and ended up banding together just in case someone got stuck.
So we're not getting through that, are we?
No, we ain't. So it looks like we're in the same boat as this guy Bob we've just met, and we're going to head back, help Bob through a ford just in case he can't get through, because I don't think he's got 4x4, and then we'll try and find somewhere for the night. Hopefully the flood waters subside.
We found some high ground, not too far from Fredericton, but a little bit out of the way from the flooding, which is good. We've got a nice little clearing, which means we can get the fire out tonight, hopefully, and hopefully we won't be bothered. And if we are, I guess it's probably going to be the Red Cross and the Army, but for now, all good. In the end, we decided to head north and go around the lake to completely miss out Fredericton.
Along the way, we found some really cool off-grid, but one of the best ones was just outside of Minto. It was just kilometres and kilometres of old hunting and logging trails, and since then the wildlife reserve has come in and all of that is prohibited. So we probably drove about 10 kilometres just weaving our way through the countryside. Whenever we're travelling off-road, we have to be careful. Now Rex doesn't have a winch. We don't even have a hand winch. So even though you can use like sticks and branches to get yourself out of mud, you know, letting the tyres down, all of the tricks, you still don't want to get yourself really stuck. Because if you are, how are you getting out of there? And in most of the places we go, we don't have mobile phone signal. So whenever things are looking a little bit boggy or a little bit unstable, one of us will get out the vehicle and go check it out.
It's usually...
Yes, it's usually me. Sometimes that can mean that we have to turn around and go and find another route. But that's what it's about. It's just fun.
In the end, we decided to stay there for a couple of days. It was a great opportunity to just be able to spread out a little bit. We got the bikes out, we had a fire going, and we got an amazing hike in, which was right down to the water. And it was just so untouched and so beautiful. It was a really, really nice couple of days there.
We've just hiked for an hour through the forest from our little camp spot, and we've just found this amazing river.
So nice. Check it out.
So while Nix does our curtains for the windows, I'm going to try and make myself useful by cooking in the wild cookies. Now we've got this ready cookie mix and we've got a little bit of butter and a few other ingredients, and I'm going to try and cook it either on the kadai or just on the hobs, and I'm not sure how it's going to work out. So we're not going to use the kadai, and I'm going to try and pan fry this cookie dough into nice little pan fried cookies. I don't think this is working. Look at that. It's It's like some stodgy, burnt cookie crumble. I think we're going to have to use the G'day. Right, so we don't have a Dutch oven, all we've got is the G'day and its lid. So we are going to try and cook this splat of a cookie inside, and it should be nicely warmed up now, so we'll give it a shot. Moment of truth, can cookies be smoked? Do you know what? I mean, it's a bit burnt around the edges, but it ain't too bad. So what we've done is we've cut away the edges and flipped it, and we're going to put it in for another 5 minutes, and then hopefully we've got cookies. Moment of truth. Do you know what? I think that's alright, and I think once that rests for a bit, it's a little bit crumbly, but I think that's going to work. I can't believe this happened. You have to eat it like a little bit of naan bread. That works. It does actually work. Pan fried and smoked cookie.
That's really good.
And then on our last day, and we were convinced that there were no animals there, even though we could see tracks everywhere, we just couldn't see any animals. And on our last day, we saw ourselves. Look at that.
Oh my god. He's coming towards us.
Well, actually, I'm not sure if it is a bear.
It's a bear. It's definitely a bear.
It's got a tail. Which admittedly, at first I thought was a cat. Sure it's not walking like a big cat?
Or a big cat, I think it's a bear.
Yeah, that's a bear, alright.
That's bear.
Finally, we can say we've seen a bear. The frog and the duck have moved aside for a big black bear.
So we managed to find a natural water source, which is really helpful. It meant I could wash my hair, we could fill the water tank and our drinking water. We've just met some really nice locals. They're from a reservation quite nearby called St Mary's, so we're going to head down there. But yeah, check it out. Morning. Well, it's Saturday morning and Joel's just made us some coffee, which is going to help me get out of this bed. I'm struggling a little bit at the moment, but we've woken up this morning to this amazing view. Check out this beautiful view. How sweet is that? It's lovely. So we're in a little town. I'm not quite sure, I can't remember the name to be really honest, but it has claim to the world's biggest axe. So we checked the axe out. It's an axe, but the place has a beautiful lake, like it's just absolutely stunning. So we're going to get up and get moving, and the plan for today is we're going to go to Grand Falls and get some Wi-Fi. And Joel's been compiling our first video of our first week, so we're going to get that uploaded, which is exciting. And then once we've done that, we're going to head to find somewhere to wild camp and get set up, because tomorrow is going to be a scorcher of a day and we want to enjoy it.
So we thought we'd drive into Grand Falls, use the internet to upload our first video for you guys at, guess what, Canadian Tire, and then move on. As it turned out, Grand Falls is actually pretty grand, and I nearly drove into it when I saw it for the first time.
Check this out! How amazing!
It's amazing. You need to see this as well. finally a waterfall that's worth taking a photo of.
The amazing part of it was the ice had just melted, so the locals actually told us if we'd gone a few weeks later it wouldn't have been as impressive. It's Saturday night and we are just heading. We met met a really cool guy today, didn't we, in the car park. And we're heading to hang out with him and his wife and stay on his driveway, which is really sweet of him. And apparently he's got a fire going in the backyard, so we're quite excited. Spent such a nice evening with these guys. We got there, they put on a fire outside, they've made like whiskey with maple syrup heated up, and it was like we'd known these guys for ages and we'd known them for 5 minutes. It was just such a lovely evening.
The next day, we woke up and they'd already said that they'd make us a coffee before we head off. We started packing up the van and they invited us in for a really nice breakfast, which had bacon. We haven't tasted bacon in ages. It was fantastic. On top of that, Stephen said he'd like to take me out for my very first side-by-side buggy ride.
Hold on here. Here we have Joel on his maiden voyage in Canada on his first side-by-side ride. A little Commander, Can-Am Commander 1000, and he's impressed with the power. And here is what we have in front of us for the fun today. So here Joel is getting us, we're stuck, so he's advancing the winch, see what sort of tree he can find and hook onto to get us out. I think he was a little confused driving on the wrong side, but I'm sure he'll rectify this.
Need a pro to get us out.
Shut it off.
Get off.
There. Okay, so we just have to get out and winter ourselves back up. That's the problem with snow. So Joel, tell me your first impressions with the ride on the buggy. As is that what we referred it to earlier? The buggy?
Buggy, yeah, with the gator.
The gator. That's a John Deere thing. Come on now, it's not a gator. It's not a gator.
This is fantastic.
And tell me why it's fantastic.
It's a powerful little beast. It's basically a go-kart that can go anywhere. I love it. It's so much fun.
Amazing times with these guys, like even playing football in the back garden, it was great. And like Nick says, we were like old friends.
We just want to say a massive thank you, guys. It was amazing to meet you. Thank you for opening up your home. And just, I think that was actually one of the highlights of our New Brunswick trip. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Take care. Thank you so much.
Enjoy, safe travel.
Bye, 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 bye. That brings us to our second instalment as Bare Overland, our second video, and we managed to get by without the microphone. Just want to say a massive thank you to watching. As ever, if you liked it, please hit the subscribe button, and more importantly, if there's anything that you think that we could do better or you'd like to see, let us know, because as we said last time, it's very much a learning curve. We're enjoying it, but we're still very much learning about it.
In our next episode, we're going to be hitting Quebec, trying to still make our way to the Yukon. Now, the route we're going to take is around or near Gaspésie. We haven't quite decided. I guess you'll find out in the next video. Bye guys.
Bye, guys.
Don't look at me. Nom 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 nom. Raw cookie dough. I'm just so hungry. Look at you. What's happened to us?